But that requires the intelligent soul not only to decide that it wants to win, but it also requires the intelligent soul to plan and train itself, as Rabbi Ephraim says, for all possibilities of failure that you can encounter. Meaning, if a person has been an eater his whole life, and he knows that, listen, I like to eat, I like food, I like the feeling it gives me, I don't like the extra pounds it gives me, or extra kilos depending on where you are in the world, but I like the way food is, fantastic. But it may be ruining your marriage, it may be ruining your marriage possibilities, it may be ruining your life, your health, and so on. So what do? I gotta obviously overcome it. Simple. Once you've decided you overcome it, now, what are the things that cause you to have the failure? Just like, if you are going to help somebody that has a drug problem or an alcohol problem, one of the most important parts of helping an alcoholic or any type of addict is triggers. Eliminating the triggers is not possible. You have to train for the triggers. Why? Because the triggers will come. The triggers will come. If you plan for, listen, I'm not going to hang out with this friend anymore. He's the one that brings me to all the parties. And once I'm at the party, I lose my mind. You're right. Yes, you shouldn't hang out with that friend. But guess what? There are 8 billion people in the world. Other people will show up. So eliminating that trigger is not going to solve the problem. You have to eliminate the triggers that you can eliminate, but you also have to train your intelligent soul to handle whatever obstacle is going to come. So in the case of the alcoholic or the drug addict, okay, what can I do? Of course, the bad friends deleted. The phone number you have changed. The email, any way of contact that you have to your past life has to be changed. Yeah, but they know me. Exactly. That's the point. Eliminate all those contacts. Make sure that you are making it as difficult as possible for any of those people from the past to ever contact you again. I know people are very particular about their emails and their phone numbers especially. This is one of the things you need to do in order to move on. Eliminate those people from contacting you. But that's not going to be enough. You also know that when you go to certain places, these things are obviously come up. You know that if you go to a certain street, you go to a certain city, you go to a certain place, these things will constantly trigger your evil inclination, the memories of the past, but only the good parts that happen, not the bad parts, not the overdose, not the car accident, not the fights. It's only going to remind you of that good time you had before everything went south. So you have to know now that you're sober that you have to simply eliminate any possibility of going to those places, but also if somehow you end up making a wrong left turn, if somehow you end up running into one of those old friends, if somehow somebody finds your phone number and calls you, you already have to have at least 3 to 5 different actual experiences that remind you of how bad it is to follow suit with this issue. Instead of thinking, hey, yeah, you remember those good times with those girls and those boys and those this and those that. No. Think about, immediately have in your memory, your front lobe memory, right in the beginning, at the top of your brain. Oh, first 3 things. Oh, yeah, remember I actually almost died. There's an overdose. They had to, take my blood out of my body, clean it, put it back in. The family was crying. My mom was already be suicidal. And all the horrible things that happened, have that here, not here. The other part, wait, so long as I was a drug addict, I couldn't get a normal job. And if I do it again, I could lose the job that I have or any possibilities. In so many words, everybody has at least 3 horrible things that they can think of what happened. And to constantly remind themselves that if I open this door again, it's going to get even worse than what it was last time, because it always does. The same concept for a person that has issues with hunger or issues with food. If a person understands that, okay, I don't want to eat constantly, I don't want to be obese, if I just simply want to be normal, eat when I'm hungry, and that's it. Okay, so that means that you can no longer go to those places that you typically eat at. But not only that, there are sometimes people that don't even realize that all of their casual eating is what's adding all of the extra problems. So for example, people that have a lot of time on their hands and they go shopping. I don't know, some people, especially here in America, I know people love to go shopping. They go to malls and shopping centers and all types of stuff. They have a lot of time on their hands. This is certainly time that you could certainly save and do something much more useful in. But nonetheless, if you're going to do it, if you must buy something, generally I would recommend simply buying it online. But let's say you have to go, you're one of these people, you have to see people, you have to, breathe fresh air. Fine, no problem. You're a normal human being. There's nothing abnormal about you. But there's no need for you to go through the entire mall in order to buy a shirt. If you know you want to get a shirt, go to the store you want to go to, get the shirt, and leave. Why? Because in the past, when you were going to get a shirt or shoes or whatever it was, you went to the mall, you walked around. After a while, you got tired, because who wants to walk around all day? You got tired, and where does everybody go when they get tired? They go to the food court, and you can't just sit in the food court, do nothing. You have to order food. And before you know it, you spent an extra half hour of your life eating food you didn't really need to eat just to take up some time, and you ended up, feeding this bodily desire unnecessarily. Now, of course, this is just one of millions of examples that I can give you. The point being is that there's a lot of this extra stuff that a person does that is simply unnecessary. And when they train their intellectual soul ahead of time for all of these experiences, they could now overcome them. Now, you say, okay, next time I need to buy something, I'm just going to the store I need and buying it. I'm not going to all the extras. Next time somebody says, listen, we're having a party for some game, or we're having a get-together. I know that if I go to these parties, I'm going to start eating and pretty much, never stop. So, no party. Or I'm just going to go at the end. Or I'm just going to give myself a schedule. I'm only going to go there for, a set amount of time, and I have to leave no matter how fun it is. Point being is that a person has to give themselves some type of gate, some type of fence around their own behavior in order to contain themselves from losing control. Not go to certain places, not maintain certain relationships, and simply plan all of these things ahead of time, not the day of, but rather it could be months or even years before these things happen. What do I do if this happens? Oh, if this happens, then plan is 1, 2, 3. What do I do if this happens? Oh, plan is I'll do 1, 2, 3. And sit there and think of all of the different possibilities that could lead you to that door that you were once inside of, now you finally get yourself out of, and you really don't want to get into. So now that you're healthier, spiritually healthier, is the time to train yourself for that war that may or may not happen. Let me know what you think, and make sure to share it, because other people need to learn too.